Hey guys, I'm Daisho, and I'm here playing some Magic, and I'm really just testing to see how I want to run this deck exactly. I don't think I can really toss this one back. I mean, I've got an Overseer, so can't really lose. But I am playing some Avacyn's Glory, obviously, and yeah, I was just seeing how I wanted to run this deck completely, and then I decided that I would just, he doesn't have a land? What? Oh, he's gonna discard and then reanimate something. That's fine, I've got a, oh, well that's backwards. Yeah, okay, not great. He's gonna have two 1/1s. And I still need to draw two lands. I mean, two 2/2s, rather. Anyway, as I was saying, I was trying to see how I want to run this deck, and I needed to play some games to test it out, so I figured I may as well upload these, even though they're going to be after the deck video. I'm actually recording it before, so we'll see if I actually have to make any changes. But it's not like my opponent can really be aggressive with his 2/2 since he has to hold back my creatures. I think I can probably still be attacking with my Doom Traveler, though. And that's a good draw. Yeah, let's get in there with Doom Traveler. Well, I guess I could have waited a turn to see if he attacked, and then I could just block with it. Maybe even double block with the champion. Well, no, then my Overseer isn't going to be indestructible and hexproof. Okay, so he's just going to block it. I just need to get some damage through, sort of. I don't know. It was probably an aggressive play that didn't need to be made. But yeah, I mean, luckily I have the O-Ring for removal. If I had the Path to Exile, then that would ramp him of the land that he didn't get because he just had to discard the first time. And if it were Fiend Hunter, he could probably just kill it with something. So he's just going to charge in there for 4, take me down to 14. Less than ideal, but not really much I can do about it. So I'm hoping to draw one more land here. That way I can resolve my Geist Honored Monk and my Angelic Overseer. My opponent kept a 1-lander. It's pretty interesting. So now we got another Champion of the Parish. It's a difficult decision here, but I think I'm actually just going to hold back with my team. Well, no, I'm going to attack him with this because there's really no point in blocking Gravecrawler, but I will throw my other champion in front of a zombie, I think, because if I can just draw one more land, I'm going to have a hard time losing this game because I'm going to be able to play a giant Geist Honored Monk and a Angelic Overseer, which are both bigger than his team, even if I just go ahead and block here. I'm going to take another 4, going down to 12, but I have no immediate pressure. Path. Well, I'll probably just path my Spirit token after blocks, just so that I can assure myself to hit the land drop so that I can play my Geist Honored Monk next turn and then the Overseer afterwards. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's a little bit silly because I could just kill his Gravecrawler and then not under that much pressure, but he doesn't have any lands, so I don't really want to give him one. And actually, to be honest, I can just play the Overseer next turn since he's only on 1 land, so he's not going to be able to do anything unless he's trying to discard another card. He is! Oh my god, that was his plan. He's just going to discard another card and then reanimate another Grave Titan. It's really interesting. So this makes Spirit, so it'll only pump this guy up once. I think I'd rather just do this. I've got another Fiend Hunter for his second Grave Titan that he's going to reanimate. I think. I mean, maybe he just isn't drawing lands. It could be the case as well. But, I mean, he just dies next turn if he reanimates Grave Titan, and that's his only play. Because I just hit him for 5 in the air after he takes another 6 from Grave Titan. Yep, there's just a Diregraph Ghoul. And now he can't really do anything for the rest of the game. So yeah, I mean, sometimes reanimate Grave Titan just isn't enough. I had the O-Ring for it. The 2/2s were good for him, but not good enough. And play this pre-combat. But I'm not even going to be attacking with my Champion of the Parish. So, I mean, for this deck benefited, like, this was the best deck in the game, and I think it benefited the most of any of the other decks from the DLC, which is just kind of hilarious when you think about it. Though, I think I should have attacked here to force him to trade his 2/2, because I am at 10 life, and the only way Well, there's no real way that I lose. Never mind. I mean, it's pretty irrelevant at this point. Finally drew another land, but... Alright, so he's just going to charge in with the team. I'll just block here. Should be fine. Even like a Doomblade on another one of my creatures wouldn't get there. Alright. And now we are just going to go ahead and kill him. So, that was a pretty simple game, but it shows the versatility of this deck. Even though a lot of the times it's aggressive and that's what it wants to do, I was actually able to play the defensive role here, stop his strange combo-y onslaught at the beginning, and then continue on for the closeout very, very quickly with the Overseer, just hitting him for 10 damage 2 turns in a row, or 5 damage 2 turns in a row for a total of 10, killing him pretty quickly. But, I mean, this deck just has so many options and so many angles to attack. Like, look at this hand. How am I going to lose this game? Like, if my opponent has 2 removal spells, and watch me draw, like, either Honor of the Pure or another... Man, I think next turn I'm actually still going to play the Gathered Townsfolk. I lose a couple of counters on my champion, but it's so much more mana efficient, and my other champion's still going to be a 3/3 before long. Unless I draw a 1-drop. If I draw another 1-drop, then... Okay, so, yeah, we're just going to drop the Gather. Might be a mistake. I might... it could be correct to do it the other way, but if you think about it, if I do it this way, then I get both of my spells out next turn, whereas if I played the champion this turn, then I would have 1 extra mana, and the next turn I would have to play Gather the Townsfolk, and then the next turn after that I would have to play another one. I mean, I'd be getting in for more damage, though, so maybe it would be worth it to do it that way. Yeah, and Butcher Ghoul is a really good reason why, because now I can't even attack with these humans. They just don't really do much. I don't know why he wouldn't attack with his Gravecrawler, but... yeah, there you go. A Honor the Pure would be a very sweet draw here. I could play my champion, Honor the Pure, get in with both my guys. That would be a really sweet draw. Elite Inquisitor is also not a bad draw. I have a feeling that he's just going to block my champion in the patch anyway, so I'd much rather play the Inquisitor than the Gather. He's quitting out after he sees Elite Inquisitor. I mean, I can't blame him, but at the same time, this game is nowhere near over. Like, if he's got a removal spell for... I mean, I guess I don't know his hand, but if he's got a removal spell, I guess he has to kill this, and this, and this before he can actually win the game. But, I mean, even so, that's not impossible in that deck. It has a lot of ways to deal with my creatures. But now, I mean, this thing also shuts down his offensive. I mean, First Strike, protection from zombies, it's pretty big game against the zombie deck. He's got nothing on 3, so we're just going to drop this Gather the Townsfolk. And, I mean, we're on turn 4 here, and, I mean, just look at the power that I've amassed on the board. And if I can draw an Honor the Pure, it'll, like, double, basically. He's got to have some sort of removal spell or something. He can't just have nothing on turn 3, right? Alright, so he's just going to chump block that and take 6. Alright. Well, I guess I could have charged in with both of these, pushed in an extra damage, because he had to chump block this, and so that, yeah, he would have gone down to way too low of a life. Yeah, I think I actually just kill him next turn. I mean, reanimate. Oh, well, that's actually really good for him here, because now he's got 2 blockers. Nope. And, I mean, that's just closing the door here. There's no way that any deck in the format could have beaten this start unless they had Wrath of God on turn 4. I mean, it was so incredibly powerful of a start that he just got destroyed. If the person had stayed in, he obviously would have gotten completely blown out just as quickly. But, yeah, I'll probably get one more before I'm willing to accept that this deck is amazing. One card that I would like to draw is Gold Knight Commander. And, I mean, that card is just, it's another way to add so much power to this deck. And, I mean, that's the thing about this deck. It attacks you in so many angles. It has great removal spells. It has extremely explosive starts. It has swarm strategies. And then it finally, it can just go over the top and play Angelic Overseers and just kill you. But one thing that is interesting that I'll probably talk about in the deck guide video, but, yeah, I guess there's not really much reason in discussing it now if I'm going to discuss it again in the deck guide video. But anyway, just the decision to not play Baneslayer Angel and go with Gold Knight Commander. That might be incorrect, and I would definitely respect somebody if they did it the other way as well. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can just get one more game here, and then I think that will be okay. It'd be nice to draw the Gold Knight Commander just to see how it plays. I know I've played a lot with it before, and I've seen my opponents play it before, and I think that it's better than any of the other strategies. But, I mean, perhaps not. Maybe it's just better to play a couple of Angels, like Arresto and the Baneslayers instead of the Geisthonored Monks, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, like, just adding the Swarm of the Gold Knight Commander is really interesting. Alright, I'll just fast forward to whenever I get the next game. Continuing. Hey guys, I'm back, and this is not really going to be a keeping hand. Maybe it is. You know what? I think I am going to keep it. It's got some really cool interactions with Thraben Doomsayer and Gold Knight Commander, as well as just having a Gather the Townsfolk for some power for Gold Knight Commander to buff. And all I really need to do is draw, well, 2 lands, but I'm running a 24 land deck and I'm on the draw, so I should be okay. And if I'm not drawing lands, there's a good chance I'll be drawing the spells that I need. But my opponent let off with Swamp, which tells me that he's probably... Alright, actually, I mean, instead of drawing... I just drew 2 5-drops instead of drawing the lands that I needed, or the low drop spells. Like, another reason why I kept this hand is because my first draw easily could have been Champion of the Parish, and then I could have gotten the explosive start and the back-breaking late game. Luckily, got the land right there, so I'm just going to attack first. Obviously, he's not going to Doomblade any of my tokens, but it's still worth checking out. So this is such a cool interaction, especially because if he just doesn't kill this thing, then I get the immediate benefit out of it next turn, but he's just going to kill it right away. Very obvious, but very good play on his part, just to get rid of the Thraben Doomsayer, because it's going to be a huge threat throughout the game. So now he's going to drop this Undead Warchief, and if... yeah. What am I going to do here? Thankfully, I drew the land. So I'm just going to drop this Gold Knight Commander. I'm fine with him hitting me for 3 damage next turn if he wants to. And now I can really start putting the punishment in. If I draw a land and I can drop this Geisthonored Monk, I'm going to be able to get in for so much damage right now. He's just going to draw a card. Let's see, I would give all my creatures +3, so these would each be hitting for 4, and this one would be hitting for 5. That is just an insane amount of damage at this point in the game. And even without that, then I still have this Fiend Hunter, which is a really nice play on his Undead Warchief. Though I could have just played the Gather the Townsfolk, which would have had a very similar effect, but this way I take away his ability to... Well, okay, I'm not actually going to attack with my Gold Knight Commander because it's way more important to me. If he's got a Doomblade for the Fiend Hunter, then he can trade his Gold Knight Commander with my Undead Warchief. But as it stands right now, I'm probably just going to kill him next turn. Okay, so he's just got 6 mana up. That's not great. And I did draw the land, so we're just going to go for it. Drop the Geisthonored Monk, and, I mean, if he had a Doomblade... Okay, that was too late. Yeah, he should have done that... Okay, well, my creatures did get +1, but he did it before this triggered, so... Yeah. I mean, that was a good play on my opponent's part, but I'm still so far ahead. And that just... I think that really just shows how powerful Gold Knight Commander could have been. Like, if he didn't kill my Thraben Doomsayer, I could have made a creature every turn, given them +1 for free. So maybe my opponent's got a Mutilate, just a Corrupt. Still very good for him. And the game is actually just not over, because I have no buffs anymore without my Gold Knight Commander, and I only have 5 power on the board. I do have an Angelic Overseer to drop here, and now I have 7 power flying. I have a Hexproof Indestructible creature. He's really live to Mutilate still, but if he had it, I feel like he would have played it last turn, so that means that he's got to draw into it, and that's not a position he wants to be in. And I'm going to close out this game in probably about 2 turns. So he's going to drop a Mikaeus the Unhallowed here. That's fine. That's really good, because whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. So I can't even attack with my humans now. Oh, I can just Fiend Hunter it, actually. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's that. I forgot about the fact that my hand was so stacked that I still had removal, but otherwise that would have been a really sick play on his part. And the rest of the cards in my hand I'm just going to hold in case my opponent plays Mutilate, because that's really the only way that I lose this one. And I mean, I'll be in a bad position since he's going to get back both of his creatures, so I need to save my Fiend Hunter, and yeah, he's just going to quit on out here. Unfortunate, but I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. So, I mean, you got to see me play against 3 Deadwalkers decks, but I mean, I really stomped all of them. One of them came close when he had that really aggressive combo start with the discard of the Grave Titan followed by Reanimate, but past that, I mean, I was in control of that game too. This one, I really needed to hit my lands, and I did. But, yeah, I mean, my opponents just quit out so fast because, obviously, this is such an overpowered deck. And, in fact, I don't even want to play it anymore. But, oh, gosh. Alright, well, we'll try one more. My opponent's rocking Mind Maze, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, this hand isn't actually that good. It has the potential to be insane if I draw 1 Gather the Townsfolk or a number of other cards. But Honor the Pure is one of those cards that's really good in the matchup. Alright, so he's got a Bear, which is really bad for me because I can't even attack now, because I really can't lose my champion being my only creature. But there are so many draws in this deck that make it insane, that make this hand insane. Land is not one of them, unfortunately. And Honor the Pure is something that I want to do after I already have some creatures out, because if you think about it, when you play a creature, you can't attack with it that turn, so you don't get the immediate benefit. But when you play something like Honor of the Pure, ooh, if he attacks here, oh my gosh, he's got them bears. If you play something like Honor the Pure, the +1/+1 that it gives to all your creatures is going to be beneficial right away, because you're going to be able to attack with all your creatures. They're going to get the benefit in, and yeah, so you basically get some sort of haste benefit. Let's hope we draw another, maybe a Doom Traveler here would be really good. Path. I mean, that's a good draw, but not too great here. So I'm just going to hold back here. I mean, like, if he plays something like Lord of the Unreal, I'll be able to path it. I don't really want to, but I'll have to, because otherwise he'll just be able to hit me for 9, which is kind of unacceptable. Yeah, and he went for the same idea that I did, which was, I'm just going to let him attack first so I get to eat one of his bears. Even if he's got, I mean, he could have an unsummit for my champion, but, oh, yeah, actually I made a mistake there. I should have blocked first and then pathed his creature, because if he has an unsummon for my guy, oh, wow, you should not have waited until I blocked. Yeah, he could have just gotten that 6 damage in, but instead he lost some. It's not the greatest play for him. He just gets to keep his creature alive for a turn. I think I'm actually going to hold on to this O-Ring for another turn, just because there's a good chance that he plays a big threat. Oh, God, he's only got 2 cards left in hand. Yeah, I really needed to draw some action. These removal spells are not very good for me. Illusionary Servant, so that's going to be a really good thing to take care of with O-Ring. And, I mean, let's see, he might not even attack here. Oh, he's going to bring his team. I hope he doesn't have another unsummoned post-combat, because, I mean, that was really bad. Alright, so he's just going to trade 4 damage for one of his creatures. That's fine. I mean, the bear did its job already. It got in the damage. And unfortunately, I'm just drawing lands, which is bad. So, and luckily for me, he didn't have a counter, since it would have actually worked, since this doesn't target until it enters the battlefield. So obviously, I mean, I'm playing the defensive role just because of my draw. It was an interesting draw. I've got a couple of Honor the Pures, and that's usually really good, but I didn't have enough creatures to sustain it. If my opponent doesn't have any more gas, though, then I can definitely still draw out of it. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have a counter right here, then this is going to be the backbreaker. It's going to be really hard for him to come back from this. I don't think that I really want to attack with my champion. Yeah, I think actually I do. Trading off for both of his bears is fine. He's only got 1 card now to deal with 2 3/3 flyers and a 6 or 5/5 vigilance. So, I mean, that'll definitely put me in the driver's seat for winning this game. Really good draw with Geist Honored Monk. My opponent's just drawing lands, which is really unfortunate. I don't know how many he's running, but definitely too many. Or at least he's drawing too many now. Not that he's running too many in his deck. He could have 20. He could have 18 lands in his deck and still draw 7. That's the thing. Like, I was playing at an FNM the other day, and there were a couple of new players there, and it was really fun. They were just having fun playing Magic, which was interesting and a lot different than a lot of the things that you usually see. But one thing that I did notice was one of my opponents at one point just played a game and lost to me, and then because they didn't draw their colors, and then they immediately just took a plains out and put a mountain in, and I was trying to be nice, and I was like, well, you know, it's not really just because you drew it that way in that one situation. It doesn't mean that your mana base is bad. It's just variance that happens, and apparently the variance was with me today, and I won the 4 games that I played, which was pretty sweet. Man, 7-5. That's kind of unfair, but yeah, the 2 Honor the Pures were pretty important, helping my champion of the parish be more than a 1-1. But to be honest, like if there were 2 Gather the Townsfolks, I probably could have won that game too. Anyway, it's exhausting playing with the by far the best deck in the game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these gameplays and they went well with the deck guide. Have a wonderful day. Bye.